masters of horror.
Welcome to Spooky Time with the Scariest Things Podcast. This is episode number 23, and you have got most of us. This is Mike Campbell, my cat right there. I'm joined in Portland by
Eric Lee, no cats.
And in Washington, D.C.,
Robert Zilbauer, also no cats.
no cats. Liz Williams is off gallivanting through Europe and seeing the scariest things she can find there. The last time Liz went to Europe, she went to Dario Argento's place of business, Profondo Rosso in Rome. And I know we benefited greatly from Liz's visit, and I'm hopeful for more treats and scary things to come from Europe to us. With that said, I'm going to kick it off with a super duper fast round robin for this week of all sorts of.
Oh, I love round robins.
I know we're like sliding right into the Halloween season, and this is it. It's a little colder. The leaves are starting to turn, and so guess what? There is a ton of horror movie news, but I will be fast. First, Eric and I are tomorrow night. We're going to go see The Nun 2, right? Because it's September 8th.
Sure.
Nun 2 comes out. Yeah. Guess how much money the Conjuring universe has generated so far in its existence. I can't remember how many Conjuring films there are.
It's got to be over $1 billion total.
1 billion?
Yeah.
Robert, any guesses?
Oh, it's like multiple billion.
1.5.
$2 billion.
Okay.
Oh.
I watched the trailer. It does look a lot better than the first Nun. It legitimately looks a lot better. There are tons of jump scares, so we'll see what it yields. Number 2, Eli Roth just dropped the poster and the trailer for Thanksgiving, which
I saw that.
Which is a callback to the 2007 faux Grindhouse trailer that he did for Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino's film, aptly named Grindhouse. The trailer is decidedly different than the 2007 trailer. The poster is also decidedly different than the 2007 poster, which had a super duper Grindhouse flair. So we'll see.
So now
the poster was cool though. It was a good poster.
Yeah, it is good. I prefer the original, but I'll take whatever I can get out of Eli Roth.
So will this mean that all of the Grindhouse movies, because I know Death Proof became a full-fledged movie,
right? Werewolf Women of the SS.
Okay, that one was pretty much Ilsa, right? Or there was a throwback to Ilsa, She-Wolf.
It was Ilsa with werewolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So better.
So better.
But did like Planet Terror? That's the other one that
yeah.
That. So that
yeah.
So, anyways, that is an amazing gift that keeps on giving.
We'll see.
Thanksgiving.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
But now
Thanksgiving, November 17th is when it comes out.
It had a pretty good tagline on the poster, but I'm not remembering.
It was like there won't be any leftovers or something.
Yeah,
this year there will be no leftovers. I like it.
I hope it's cannibals then.
Yeah, we'll see. That it is the tagline that they used for the previous one as well. Next up, Children of the Corn reboot.
Oh no,
the 11th reboot finally just got re-released. Finally, it actually was re-released a couple months ago. It just popped up on Shudder. I gave a review of it. You can read my review on
that's right.
Scariest Things website, scariestthings.com, 1T. The big takeaway there is why?
What was your star rating on that?
Yeah. I give it 2.5.
2.5. Yeah.
2.5.
That's what I saw.
2.5.
Yeah.
So
which is
for
probably
the Conjuring.
The Conjuring. Yes.
We really should be doing the Conjuring. I think that's par for the course for Children of the Corn is 2.5, with the first one maybe being 3.5.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: there is a corn monster in this one. So
All right. Is there a corn maze?
no corn maze, just a corn
bummer.
monster.
You have a corn
Next
monster
up,
without a corn
the new
maze.
Exorcist trailer, the second Exorcist trailer for The Exorcist is coming, or it was just dropped, I think today or maybe yesterday.
Mhm.
Looks really good, a lot better than the first trailer. The first trailer is
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah.
The other thing I thought was interesting about that was that they moved up the date a week, which I would have thought they would have said planted the flag firmly on Friday the 13th, October 13th, but they, because goddamn Taylor Swift is putting her movie out, they wanted butts in the seats, and so they moved it up a week to try to beat Taylor
That makes
Swift to
sense,
the
though.
punch.
You
Good
can't blame 'em
luck.
for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the kind of a thing you're gonna get Barbied at that point. You don't
Yeah,
want
exactly.
I know. I think that's what's going to happen.
Last Voyage of the Demeter, poor
So
movie.
did your
It just got-
estimation of the new Exorcist one go up for this new trailer?
Went up a little.
Okay.
Went up a little.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
a little. I'll take a little.
You know, here's the other thing about so the
What's that?
Exorcist, the new Exorcist reboot,
Yeah.
I think is the word is trickling out to the normie population. I've been hearing like my colleagues and some other friends who aren't ordinarily horror fans are asking about the Exorcist.
Right.
So it has the chance, just by reputation, to get out of the gate okay.
Yeah.
Because it's still a famous movie. Even
Because
if,
they called it The Exorcist.
yes. Unlike Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah, or Renfield. Yeah,
It's
they
like-
didn't call it like Reagan 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
Good segue, Robert. Because the last thing I was going to mention is Mick Garris just released a posthumous interview that he had done with William Friedkin, honoring William Friedkin in his passing. And he has 2 interviews in his postmortem podcast with William Friedkin. One is from 1979. It had never been heard before. The other was from the 1990s. Both are really fascinating. The hot take about William Friedkin is he is a prickly, very prickly individual who does not take kindly to really any question at all. But my favorite line in the entire interview was that William Friedkin, of course, hates, had never seen, but hates The Exorcist 2, The Heretic, and he kept referring to it as the hairy tick.
Yeah, he has we don't have a whole lot of those massive ego auteur directors out there anymore. A lot of the auteur directors are nice Spaniards, like or someone like Denis Villeneuve, or or you get Guillermo del Toro, it's like a Mexican, the happy warrior. You don't get the arrogant the Stanley Kubricks or but one of the
and I felt bad for Mick Garris too, because he is such a nice guy, and I could tell he was trying to treat him with kid gloves, but god damn it, every question he asked William Friedkin, it was just like
you want to shut him down or
being a contrarian for contrarian's sake.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but I do encourage folks to listen to it because it's really interesting, and it will give you some interesting insights into The Exorcist coming on October 6th.
So that's on Mick's podcast then?
Yep. Mick Garris Postmortem.
Yeah. That's a good listen. It
is a good listen.
He has, this is where him creating the Masters of Horror pays off. He can get anybody to talk to him, and plus he's such a nice guy.
Yeah,
for sure. Personal experience, nice guy.
Speaking of talking, keep talking. You.
Eric, me. Okay. Well, so other movies coming out. I just posted a link to the Scariest Things website for Godzilla -1, which looks legit. The movie is it's a reboot back to the 1954 Gojira, but using modern effects technology. but he's back to being the radioactive menace. And it's Japan on its knees. I think it's actually a fascinating political take on, the Reconstruction Japan, and I'll be interested to see how much the Americans play into it, because this was, of course, a time when the American army was occupying Japan post-war. So
right.
What's good? Who's going to save Japan from Godzilla? I think.
What did you think of the what was it, 2010,
Shin Godzilla.
2011 Godzilla?
Oh,
the first of the reboots. Yeah,
I thought it was
first
good.
Of the yeah.
I think that they brought the majesty of Godzilla back, and that
agreed.
He was a demigod on Earth. I think that I respect what Godzilla has turned into from the Warner Brothers productions, but I think that the human element of those movies is always the weakest bit.
Right.
I think of the three movies that he's been in, King of the Monsters and Kong versus Godzilla, I think that the best human component was in the Gareth Edwards 2011 version. I thought it was solid.
Agreed. I thought the Millie Bobby Brown was like,
yeah. Well, and then it was like some
petulant teenager.
But they took the notes from the audience who said we want more monster, and the other movies have given you a lot more monster, but I think
we wanted to cash in on Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, yeah.
Right. Or they cash in on the Scariest Things too, yeah.
By all means, cash in on this.
Cash in on us. I'm up for that. Yeah.
But that is due for a Japan release on November the 3rd and a December release, December 1 for the US. Nice. My friend Gretchen, who was formerly of the Kaiju Cast, is beside herself giddy about this, and so we're going to go catch that. Mike, if you want to come with us.
Heck yeah, let's
Godzilla
do it.
-1, that's on tap. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, and partly this is kind of my shame for we didn't actually talk about these things during our Thingy Awards, but short films. So I'm going to quickly go through the best. I have a top 10 best short films of 2023 so far. Queer Screams, which was playing up here in Portland at the Clinton Street Theater. There was a movie called The Jessica Cabin, directed by Daniel Montgomery. It's a romantic getaway to a secluded cabin, and it turns sour, leaving a lovesick young man on his own after his boyfriend ditched him, except for he's not alone because he's being watched by two lonely spirits who will do whatever it takes to make him stay. So it's kind of a long format short, which is kind of an oxymoron. It's about an hour long. But it's really good. It's a study of
not a short film.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like a half feature. But it was, I thought, a really nice take. This beautiful ambiguous ending about generations of ghosts who remain haunting and people getting lonely and trying to find solitude and instead finding unfortunate ways to die in this cabin. So that was pretty impressive. Also at Queer Screams, something called The Seance, directed by Jensen Rule Tierra. Following the death of his husband in a freak accident, skeptical Alex is convinced by his friend Jason to visit a mysterious psychic medium, Madame Sharma. Madame Sharma conducts a seance and conjures up the spirit of the dead husband, who's an asshole. And apparently he dumps a lot of baggage. It's really funny. Cabin in the Woods. For those of you who have not gone to our website and seen all of the photo bomb drop that I unloaded there with all of actually I had so much fun with the photo shoot there, but really truly the highlight was the short films. For a first time outing, Crystal got it right. She got a lot of really good short films.
Nice, good.
Best one, I've got three of them that I would call 5-star films. One's called Mind Heist. It's from Spain, directed by Daniel Pardo, where a criminal breaks into a woman's home, renders the woman unconscious, and he proceeds to manipulate her memories. But then he finds himself in her memories and some uncomfortable truths, and it has a brutal gut punch of an ending. Looks gorgeous. The best short film I've seen of the year, and it actually played I don't know, Mike, if you went to the 2022 Portland Horror Film Festival. I missed it. I was I was somewhere else, but there was a
I was there.
called In the Shadow of God, which was the grand champion at Portland Horror Film Festival, and it showed it. This one's legit scary. Directed by Brian Shapanchik. A woman packs up her childhood home following the passing of her father, and she comes to learn that there is a more sinister threat behind his death, long buried in the grounds of the family home. Not, it's a kind of it's a generic kind of a theme, but it's authentically scary. It's punching way above its weight, and it is like some of the best editing in feature or short films you'll run into. It's really, really good. I'm hoping that I can find this one. I want to make this part of our library of short films if I can find it. It's a Canadian film, brutal movie, and it's cool. One for Mike, 665, which not surprisingly is one shy of 666.
Neighbor of the Beast.
The Neighbor of the Beast.
Neighbor of the Beast.
Yes. Directed by Juan de Dios Garduno, something like that. Anyways, there's a woman who's given birth to 665 children in rapid succession, and there's a preach out there to dispatch every single one of them.
Oh no!
And baby 666 is due. It doesn't. And it's this baby butchering priest versus the devil. It is brutal and gory. There's one that's called Survivors, spelled with Survive ERS, from France. And this one is it's a really short film, 7 minutes. It says, natural selection says that only those who adapt will survive. What if humans have become stupid? And then there are 3 scientists who are the apparently only survivors of a viral outbreak that will cause your head to explode. And they're all wearing these motorcycle helmets with oxygen being pumped into them. And that's the only thing that have kept them alive. And they get kind of tired and fidgety, and they didn't do their calculations right. And they're all trying to figure out when to take their helmets off. They're bad at math.
Well, what was that one called?
It's called Survivors.
Survivors, right?
Movie.
Yeah.
That's another one that I'd love to post on our site because it's short and it's really funny and gross.
Okay.
And then lastly, from the Portland Horror Film Festival, I have to bring out our friend Chris McElroy, who did one called "We Forgot About the Zombies." So he's coming out with one every year, and it's these 2 guys it's like 2 dudes think they have found the cure for zombie bites, and they keep on trying all these various things, and after all is said and done, they actually forgot about the zombies. So it's fantastically funny. And if you know anything about Chris McElroy stuff, he did death metal, and he did We Summoned a Demon, and he did Guts. So all of these really super gory, these are the kinds of bring down the house short films that are the highlight of a lot of film festivals. That was certainly the case at this year's Portland Horror Film Festival.
Do any of these play on Alter?
I've been searching.
Okay.
Some of these, because a lot of these are fairly recent releases. There's a couple,
right?
But that's where to look for them. And we'll be hunting for these. The weirdest thing I saw was The Internet Remains Undefeated, directed by Robbie Gibbon. 6 minutes, the disturbance of a noisy neighbor leads to the discovery of a haunted boombox and terrifyingly possessed dancer in this tale of internet memes gone wrong. It is the weirdest short film I've seen in a while. And it's truly unsettling as this guy's doing this dancing around, and he's got this head that swaps out. And it's just, it is like mind-bendingly freaky and just unsettling. It's really, really weird. And yet you can sort of follow it, and you end up laughing, and then you go, "Ooh, that's really gross," or creepy. It's not really like gory. It's just weird. And
right.
And then lastly, Evil Fucking Clowns, which was
this was a Portland Horror.
Directed
that was a fun one.
Chris A. Bolton, after he's fired from his job as a fast food mascot, aka Ronald McDonald, actually performed by a guy who used to be a Ronald McDonald live, like a kids performer come into McDonald's and entertain the kids. They stopped because kids are now afraid of Ronald McDonald, so he lost his job.
Out of work.
As well they should be.
Right.
Out of work.
But so he's a professional clown, unemployed, and he discovers he may be the only person who can save the innocent people of the world from an other dimensional evil clown outbreak. That one is available on YouTube, and you can catch that.
So it's not
that one, when I
killer
watched that
clowns.
one, I kept thinking, exactly, Robert. I kept
Oh,
thinking
okay.
you could turn this into a feature length super easy.
Yeah.
It actually had the storyline that you could go, because a lot of these you go, okay, well, this is it. There's no more than this 7 minutes. That one I thought, you could probably turn Evil Clowns into a full feature length film without too much difficulty, because the whole backstory of him getting fired as a clown is pretty funny, and I could easily see that being stretched out for a half hour.
Yeah, the him trying to entertain the kids and then all screaming, and it's like just
great casting.
Yeah. So, anyways,
amazing casting.
It's been a good year for horror shorts, and I've watched a lot. I mean, I think I watched 50 for Cabin in the Woods.
You were judging, right?
I was judging, so I actually had to.
Eric's always judging. Eric's always judging.
That's true. He's very judgy.
I'm a Libra. It's what we do.
Judging. All right, Robert, what do you got for us this week?
This week, well, I have a little story. Once upon a time, there was a man named Miko Hughes.
Never heard of Miko.
Miko Hughes. In 1989, he was Gage Creed in the first Pet Cemetery.
Oh, yeah.
In 1994, he was Dylan in Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Right. I think I know where this is going.
2023, he came back to reprise his role as Dylan in Dylan's New Nightmare.
Yeah.
All
as
right.
a fan film on YouTube. It was written and directed by Cecil Laird. It's about a half an hour long, and Miko, I think, is the only returning actor from the series.
Right.
And it's got a good Freddy. They got a guy that played a good Freddy, and I'm kind of hoping that they get some money to continue it, because it does very much end on a cliffhanger. It's like a third of a movie. It's half an hour long, so don't expect it to like wrap anything up. But it's an impressive outing, and it's free, so you can just go on YouTube and watch the whole thing. So
how did they do it? The outlandish Nightmare on Elm Street effects. There's usually one big in each Freddy Krueger showing. There's something usually spectacular. Do they pull off any kind of dramatic gory?
I wouldn't say that it was dramatic, no. But it was all practical effects, which was, cost effective.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, some people did die. Freddy did take out a couple of people, and they brought back a lot of little homages to the especially to Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and the 94 film. But I'm hoping that maybe it was an Indiegogo funded movie, so I'm hoping that they go that route again and can maybe make some more money. It was done in kind of a cooperation with the Womp Stomp film guys.
Sure,
that did the Never Hike Alone.
It makes total sense that they do these 80s homages. Yeah, they'll watch them do Halloween next.
Where I thought you were going was, I know later this month, I think Popcorn Frights has a whole second batch of films, and they are releasing. In fact, I think it's going to have the premiere at Popcorn Frights, which is the prequel to Pet Cemetery, featuring Judd Crandall, the neighbor, in the first film, played by Herman Munster. And that one looks actually pretty interesting. But that's where I thought, as soon as you said Gage, I was like, I know where Robert's going. He's going
to and actually that's a nice plug, actually, Mike, because the Popcorn Frights Wild Weekend is October 4th to the 8th. It's in theaters only. So for those of you in the southeastern corner of the U.S. And my new friend Shasha from Cabin in the Woods, she's an Orlando resident, and I was like, you gotta go check out Popcorn Frights. Like,
Truck on down.
That's like a 2-hour drive from Orlando. It should be
Easy
Exactly.
unless there's a hurricane. But that's they've got some really good stuff coming up. There's the
great stuff.
The Mike
That's
Flanagan
where it's debuting?
Fall of the House of Usher
this weekend.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So we've got to post the press release. We've got that posted on our site. So yeah, check that out. One last thing that I'm, a little bit of an advertising plug here, but our friends at Atmos FX have reached out to us and said they've got a next gen projector now available. So the time, if you're going to be doing Halloween decorating, there is nothing that will show off how good you are at doing Halloween decorations than an Atmos FX projector. I've got 3 of them. So I light up my pumpkins, I light up my upstairs window, and I light up my downstairs windows with backmasking. So I got dancing skeletons and stalking serial killers and werewolves.
You get a projector. You get a projector.
It is.
You get a projector.
So
go get a projector.
Yeah, because this is one of those things where it's like Halloween's become like Christmas, where it's become a showdown in some neighborhoods to outdo your neighbors, and you get yourself an Atmos FX projector, you win.
You win.
Yeah.
So go check. There's a link from our site, and if you do that and you use our link, it will help us out. We would appreciate it a lot. So get like 5 projectors.
Absolutely. All right. I'm gonna or just get 3 like Eric. Three is plenty. I'm gonna take us out of here with the tagline from The Nun 2, the greatest evil in the Conjuring universe.
Whoa. Okay. All right.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll get back to you on that.
The Masters of Horror.